officially 12:03 in the morning, making it the 21st. However, over in America right now, some of the bravest, most awesomest kind of people in the world are gathered right outside of Area 51 over in Nevada. Now, there's been speculation, there's been random guessing, there's been actual, proper, scientific documentation of what goes on at Area 51. And that is, it's an Air Force base. It's an Air Force base. However, with me tonight, we have a special guest who, after escaping from Area 51 himself, is going to be giving us some answers to questions that you could possibly want to know. Everything from what does the universe taste like to do you actually do anal probing? Ladies and gentlemen, with me tonight, I do have an alien. We have a Zayton with us from Area 51. Welcome to the show. Do you have a name?
What's up?
It's good to have you.
As far as names, we mainly number. A majority of us nowadays are cloned, so I'm actually C183.
C183. Can I call you C?
Yeah, why not?
All right, C. So, you're a Zayton. You're obviously an alien. We can tell from your appearance, as it were. Well, I should say, to be correct in this political climate, you are aliens to us, we are aliens to you, of course. But you're here, you're on Earth. You've been in Area 51. What's going on, man? What's going on down there with the base?
Right now, it's just a lot of hubbub. Everyone's freaking out with all these, flesh bags at the gate. But everything's been pretty chill. A lot of drinking, a lot of partying. I don't know about none of this, extra space flight. It's mainly just us parking in.
So, what you're telling me is Area 51 is some sort of intergalactic bus station for aliens to come and visit Earth?
Kinda, with a nightclub attached.
With a nightclub attached?
Cut loose and just hang back, chill out with the experiments, even, show the humans how to properly mutate some of these creatures.
Oh, so you party animals. That's what I'm hearing from this. You're party animals?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So
much drugs. You know.
Ooh, God, so many drugs.
That was us.
Crack was you. You invented crack.
Yes. Yes.
Why?
Basically for us, it's a really, really good decongestant. It just gets rid of your stuffy nose, but you guys freak out too. It's kind of weird.
Oh, well, thank you to the many people over in Los Angeles who spend their entire lives existing on nothing but crack. You do that service over there proud.
Oh, yeah. Well, we try to help any way we can, mutilate some cows, cut some circles in the grass, all that kind of good stuff.
So I guess the big question would be why are you here?
Well, that's kind of hard because it's a little bit of broken space shuttle, a little bit of I forgot how to get over to Andromeda, but, it's all part of the experience, you just have to learn to go with the flow when you live in outer space.
Right. I think you're trying to avoid the question with me right now. I think you're hiding something. Come on, give us the juicy details. You're an alien, for crying out loud. You've got to know stuff that blow our mind. Come on, what are you hiding? We want the facts. Give us the facts right now.
We launched the nukes first.
So, you caused the war between China and the US.
We needed a way in order to visit and, take humans without anyone watching. And if there's no government to oversee, it was a lot easier to do.
Well, on behalf
but there
of...
are still some government facilities.
On behalf of everybody who's left, you're a dick. But at the same time, you are probably the best guest I will ever have on my show. So, yeah, I'm kind of, 60-40 on this. 60, you're a dick for blowing up the planet. 40, this is going to get me some good rains, man.
Well, I mean, shoot, have you seen all the beautiful plants that are out there now? There's some that glow pink and some that spew a bunch of radiation. It's great. It's lovely. There's tons of biodiversity now.
Yeah, I will give you that. There is a lot of biodiversity. However, you kind of fucked the planet, man. I'm still going to have to call you out on that. You fucked the planet. You caused these missiles to fire. You blew up our planet. Yes, you saved us from the inevitable defeat of running out of natural resources to the point where we all just become Mad Max. However,
And now there's
nuking
more
the
water
planet.
for everyone.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of that lovely irradiated water. Thank you very much.
Gives it a nice tang.
Yeah, maybe for you, but humans don't deal well with radiation, my friend.
Oh,
No,
really?
it might be good for you, might be some sort of aphrodisiac or exfoliant or some crap like that, but for us, it kills us, causes cancer. You're a dick.
I mean, I tried.
You tried what? Oh, come on. I'm coming down on you hard, right? You're an alien. Apparently, you caused this entire war. I'm coming down on you hard. I'm not pulling any punches. This is like the Rocky movie. I think it's Rocky 4, where Sylvester Stallone somehow solves world peace by boxing a Russian. You killed Apollo Creed, man. You are that person in the movie. You know. I must break you, as it was.
Well, you could try. Majority of my, well, I want to say I have bones. I'm silicone based. Like I hold together pretty well, but
That's
yeah, it's
exceptionally strange. Well, it is an interview, so we do have to ask you questions. So we'll probably go with the most important question I can possibly think of. Anal probing, what's that all about?
Maybe just get the temperature of the subject and to install a tracking device.
So it's
Similar
nothing.
to how you guys pierce the ears of cow.
So instead of piercing our ears, you probe our butts?
Yeah, you're less likely to try to remove it if it's up in there.
How the hell did that come about?
You know, we figured it'd be harder for you to reach inside yourself.
Well, you've obviously never browsed the internet, my friend.
I mean, we've seen some of your channels you guys broadcast out there. Letting people listen to it is kind of disturbing.
Yeah, I will give you that, but still, man, I mean, like, there's got to be better ways to track people. I mean, you're up in space. You've got things we've never seen. Like, we have GPS. You've probably got, like, alien GPS that tracks, I don't know, well, obviously people's buttholes, apparently, but, you know, I mean, there's got to be a better way to stick around with it.
Yeah, but, you know, they're not as reliable. A lot of them fall off or can just be easily removed with, you know, other humans helping.
Man, it is weird having an alien right here. So, how long have you've read Zayton? How long have Zaytons been coming to Earth, as it were?
Since before you guys were fighting swords and shields. We've
Wow.
seen anything from ancient samurai to even the cowboys, as you guys call them.
Yes, cow. Well, they're not boys, they're men. But yes, I understand. Cowpoke, cow people. Yes. Well, I mean,
It's
if
kind of
anyone,
hard to see the age of a human.
why? How
You
do
really only tell with the hair color.
you can only tell with the hair? Well, what about wrinkles,
Well,
age? Do you not? Can you not determine age? I mean, you said you're all clones, but at some point you must have had.
we do, but like most people don't live through the that process. We have to cut them in half and count the rings.
What, you have to cut your own people in half and count the rings, or you have to cut us in half and count the rings?
Humans,
But we don't have rings.
which is why we just keep on cutting until we find one with rings.
But none of us have rings. We're not trees.
But we're scientists. We have to keep repeating the same thing and hope that maybe it'll change.
Well, that's bad
One of
science.
you.
You don't repeat.
I mean, that
You're a bad scientist, alien. You're a bad scientist.
we're trying to learn. How else are we going to learn if we don't,
Well,
mutilate a couple?
straight off right now, I can tell you, cutting people in half is not a good way to learn. It might be like dead people that we don't know. Yeah, sure, cut them in half because they're dead. Don't go cutting live people in half because that ain't going to achieve nothing apart from cutting live people in half. And at the minute,
Most
there's
people
not enough
don't
people.
speak Satan. We can't just ask them. And even I only learned English because I've been in Area 51 for at least about the past, 50, 60 years.
Well, use a universal translator or something. Come on, you aliens, crying out loud. You must be able to phonetically dispossess, your language and our language and put in some sort of weird transmogrifier device that allows you to communicate.
Depending. Yeah, it's a little hard to get samples from everyone when they're screaming, but...
Well, stop with the cutting.
We have been cataloging their audio. Hopefully we learn something from that.
You need to stop with the cutting of people in half. Trust me, you'll have better relations. But right now, people are gathering, I guess to say rescue, even though that's in air quotes. People are apparently going to gather, and a lot more are actually on their way to Area 51 in Nevada, because apparently for the memes, if you don't know what a meme is, I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to use your super intergalactic brain to get on the World Wide Web and check that out. But right now, they are planning to, I don't know, storm Area 51 and rescue your brethren. But as you told us, Area 51 is just an intergalactic bus stop with a nightclub at the side of it. So do you have any words of... Well, in fact, do you just have anything you want to tell the people currently over at Area 51 about to storm the place?
Well, first I'd like to say is don't go in there yelling. Most of us are tripping balls, and if we see people screaming, we're probably going to lose our mind. Secondly would be just, join the party. You don't have to break no one out of their cages. Those are the go-go dancers. You got to leave them alone. They're dancing for everyone. In general, just come, join the party, chill back, have some crack. It's all great.
So you're not actually evil. You are super chill dudes?
I mean, we're here to party and cut bodies. What's wrong with that?
Well, the cutting up of bodies is the bad part. The partying's the good part, man.
I mean, it's all a party.
Yeah, but...
some people like to, rage. Some people like to slash.
But who wants to... Well, I mean, apart from probing ass, which would complete that rhyme right there, nobody wants to be cut up, man. That's not the way we do it. It's not disco anymore. We don't boogie on down to Cut Me Up Avenue. We like to properly party, man, with booze and women and men, if you're into that, and no cutting of people in half. How many times I got to say this?
Well, okay, maybe we've been a little brash. We could maybe, just poke and stab with needles.
Well, I mean, you obviously have to get consent for that, man. Because if you don't, I mean, pretty much soon, Area 51 will go from being the hippest joint in the intergalactic universe to a place where you can't come and poke and prod, but we're going to come and poke and prod you because none of that dickish behavior.
I mean, in fairness, humans started it.
How did we start this?
We wreck out in, what was it, Roswell, and the first thing everyone does is start to dissect and check us out from the inside, So we wanted to learn about you guys if you guys are learning about us.
Well, let's talk about the crash in Roswell, New Mexico. How the hell did that happen?
That was actually the guy's first experience with the smartphone. He didn't know the navigation was a little different than the old ways.
So you're telling me that basically a dude was texting and driving?
Essentially, he was trying to get the address, but he missed it by a couple light years. Ended up crashing into some. He ended up. Yeah, he ended up. Well, don't call it a rock. It's a planet, for crying out loud. But yeah, no, he ended up. That's we try and stop that, man. We've learned from texting and driving that people die. Have you not thought of a way to stop? There's not really a way. Once you're going, there's nothing to stop you. You're constantly moving in one direction or another. The only time we ever stand still is when we're either stuck in gravitational pulls or when we're in an atmosphere like yours.
Right, so we've learned some interesting stuff so far. Anal probing is actually a way of tracking people like cows. Area 51 is an intergalactic bus station with a nightclub on the side, and the crash at Roswell, New Mexico was just a texting and driving accident. Is anything you do legitimately pointed directly at, I don't know, interacting with humans anyway? I mean, you decided to come on the show, man. It shows you
I
kind
mean,
of, up for it.
yeah. Well, I mean, we take interest in the media. We definitely like to be a part of that. We do consume a majority of it. I mean, like I said, you guys are blasting it out there for anyone to drop in and listen on. So we do know about music. We know about the arts, you guys' pop culture, but in general, we just, we like to just poke in a little bit. We don't really want to become fully invested. Still trying to figure out everyone out.
Well, you've obviously been here for quite a long time. Is there anything about Earth that you do like?
It tastes like outer space. But, well, you guys have some things that do. Rum and raspberries. Yeah, those taste exactly like nebula clouds.
Raspberries taste like nebula clouds.
Yeah.
In what way? Because like for us, nebula clouds are just a massive amount of gases and other cosmic things connected together. Like how does that equate to a fruit?
Well, in basic science, you would understand the chemical that makes a majority of those clouds are also the main ingredient in rum and raspberries. And it tastes pretty much the same.
Wow. I mean, I guess we couldn't really experience that because one, we die in the vacuum of space, and two, eating cosmic stuff is probably deadly to us. But wow, I mean, you look up at the night sky and you see like the Horsehead Nebula or the Crab Nebula or something, and then you're just like, yeah, no, that tastes like raspberries. How high must you be to try and comprehend that?
Well, first things first is aliens, like myself, or Zetans, I prefer. Uh, we're all about experimenting, so we will do some dangerous things. We had a couple guys down a shot of what was it? What was it? You guys called it arsenic, and
You
that
mean
stuff was not nice.
you mean arsenic?
Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
dude,
We tried some of that, and
that's
let
poisonous.
down like three of us before we were just like, nah, not no more. I mean, everything's all about the experiment. Like I said, we're clones, so like, so one dies, just replace it with three.
So if you die, do you just get uploaded into a new body, or like is that you gone and then just a different clone with a different set of experiences and memories pops up, or are there multiples of you that you would class as a brother, or like how does this work?
It's kind of like a lineage, I guess you could say. We do inherit the memories of our forefathers, the people who come before us. We do inherit their experiences. We like any abilities they learn to do. We know how to do it. We are cloned from them. Some of them after they died, some of them before they died. So depending if that was that soldier's last mission, we know everything from then on. So we do have somewhat of a hive mind going on, I guess you could say.
So
We're all connected.
you have genetic memory. That's pretty interesting.
Yes.
There are only a very few amount of people, well, not people, but things on Earth that possess a genetic memory. Yet you're telling me that all Zetans have this genetic memory and that you remember everything passed down from your predecessor. Like, was that a natural evolutionary thing, or was that when you... Because obviously you didn't start off as clones. Like, cloning technology is a big thing, man. So, I mean, what, did you splice in some stuff? I mean, you're quite a tiny guy.
It was introduced around the time that the cloning was. It was shortly after that we realized we could clone experiences or copy and paste them. We can learn from those who aren't around anymore in a way that really, really helps us all. It's one thing to know that, oh, arsenic is bad, but now every single one of their children's children, you could say, will instinctively know that that is bad, and they will know what it looks like, they will know what it tastes like before they ever get near it. It's kind of in a way how some creatures learn to fear some things.
Wow, so you've kind of taken the evolution out of evolution and just kind of put it straight into genetically engineering yourself. That's biodigital jazz, man. That's funky as hell. I love that.
Everything's all science, you know. No matter how big or small, you can always find something to experiment with or on. So we don't mind getting dangerous if we need to, because we'll just pop back even more than what was there before.
Well, obviously, you are from outer space. People do want to know about outer space. Obviously, you've told us that apparently nebulas taste like raspberries. That's pretty interesting. But what about some other things? What about black holes? You ever been into a black hole? You ever been around a black hole? You ever done anything with a black hole?
We'll use them to get a mighty big speed boost every once in a while. Just zoom in real close and then let it like slingshot you. You can get about like, I don't know, couple million light years around before you start to slow down from one of those. So, but you got to be careful not to get too close to, you know, the whole spaghettification and whatnot.
So I'm guessing you've never actually been into a black hole.
No. Sadly, none of us have, and if we did, it would kind of suck because that would be some lost data. We wouldn't be able to get the body to, you know, clone and learn what that experience was about for others.
Yeah, I can see about that. So, no black hole experience apart from using it as a sort of speed boost kind of thing. What about other forms of life out there? I mean, obviously you found us by accident with the crash at Roswell, New Mexico. Anything else out there that either we should be wary about, or maybe we should try and be nice and invite them to, and maybe have them on the couch and talk to them on an interview? Anything out there?
I would warn everyone about the. I'm sure you heard about them before, but the lizard people.
The lizard people.
Yeah, they shapeshift. Some of them can do it so well that they even look like you guys.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say they can shapeshift so good they look like lizards, but then I was going to say, but they're just lizard people. So lizard people,
think of like a giant iguana.
A giant iguana. What's so bad about the lizard people?
They're just real crafty, you know. They try to bring us down. They're much bigger than us. You can see how small we are and fleshy, and these guys are huge, and they got huge, giant teeth that they just rip into us and tear us apart. It's a bit of a problem for us, especially since they can be barbaric most of the time.
So, lizard people bad. Are there any good people out there? Because, I mean, come on. There has to be something. Apart from you guys don't seem to be that bad. I mean, yeah, sure, some probing here, some other stuff there that let's not talk about. It's got to be something, man. Something good.
Sadly, I haven't met too many that were good. Majority of them tend to try to stop by the Area 51, but not too many leave. The humans are very into them. They, take them into their back rooms for dissections and whatnot. So they don't normally live long enough for me to figure out anything. And the ones that I've met out there, they're more akin to your raiders. It's pretty loose cannon out there. Everyone's after each other. Not too different from here, except you can space travel to pretty much any other planet you want.
Well, speaking of space travel to other planets, obviously we know of what we call the Goldilocks planet, which is a planet that sits not too close but not too far, just right in the perfect zone to support life. And obviously we've thought about going to a few of them. It would take us centuries to get to one. But have you found any of these Goldilocks planets, as we call them, that I guess you could say is a good spot to go and visit when we finally get out there.
There are a couple spots out there over in the Andromeda Galaxy. It's actually the closest galaxy to this one. I believe you call this one the Milky Way. I think it's about 4 billion light years away. It's not too far, just down the block. But in there, I don't know how they'll treat humans, but for us, they're pretty fine. It's where we get a lot of our alien blasters. We just call them guns.
Right. So are they mainly weapons manufacturing, or the other things?
Pretty much,
what's
it's like a giant. Yeah, it's like a giant store, except the whole planet, and it mainly focus on guns and weaponry. There are some for armor, but we don't really wear armor because it doesn't mesh well with the suits.
So you're telling
I
me
prefer to breathe on an alien planet.
you're telling me it's basically a giant super duper mart, which is our version of well, I don't know if you know it, but it's a place where we can go and buy things and buy. Like we use paper currency and coin currency, which you probably know, cause strippers. You probably tip some strippers.
Yeah. We're familiar with that payment method. It's a little archaic, but it works for some.
Well,
a lot of ours deals with scans. We have chips in our hand that holds all of our, I guess you could say, bank information.
Well, I guess
it's more like we just put our hand on the little scanner and.
Yeah, we've got something like that. We've got a contactless way of paying with credit cards. But I mean, if you don't use currency, what do you use? Well, you've obviously got to have some sort of value to something.
It is a currency, but it gets uploaded to our chips, so it's kind of like we're all working for more or less our version of the government, and we do get our paycheck, you could say, uploaded to that chip like every month, and with that we can use to purchase whatever we need, whether it's guns or just some more dark matter to fuel the ship or whatever we need.
So what is it? Because obviously we use precious metals as a form of currency. What do you guys use as? Well, sorry, we use precious metals to represent a value that we then use as a form of currency. So I have, 3 gold bars. That adds up to maybe a couple of $1,000 or pounds, and then we use that to buy things for monetary value. Like, do you have any precious elements, minerals, crystals, rocks, things? I don't know. Like, how does that system work compared to ours?
For us, everything now is on the level of Bitcoin. We've recently introduced it to the human market to try to, make up a little bit more of a market for us, so that way we can also purchase things here. But yeah, we pretty much move solely to Bitcoin.
You're telling me that aliens invented Bitcoin?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, okay, what else have aliens invented apart from Bitcoin and cocaine?
Yeah, the crack, the cocaine, Bitcoin, Barbra Streisand, and I think it was also Dots, the ice cream. Yeah.
You telling me Barbra Streisand it's an alien?
100%. It's an experiment we started with. We didn't think it was going to go well. We thought you guys were going to reject it, honestly. It was a little rough, I guess you could say. We did recently experiment on another famous person that you guys are also pretty fond of. What was his name? I think it was, they changed their name now. What was it? Oh, Caitlyn Jenner, that's what it was. Yeah. Did a little modification to that, sent it back. You guys didn't like that one as much as the other, but, Gotta learn.
Wow. Okay then. That's pretty rough one to like for you that's probably nothing, but for us that's a big kind of political statement right there. You've physically altered a person, man. I mean, we've talked about cutting people in half, but I mean, come on, don't. Why? What was the entire reason behind that one?
He was a great specimen to start with. You saw how many Olympic medals they had. If anyone was a good example for physical altercations, it was that one. We chose good.
That's you. We've had some weird questions. We've had weird answers. I think personally my favorite ones is one that Barbara Streisand is an alien. That's fucking hilarious. That like I never Barbara Streisand as an alien never even occurred to me. The other one that I liked was the fact that raspberry is the taste of nebulas and stuff in space. That's awesome. I love that. That's pretty cool. However, we do have a question from the audience, which is where is Elvis?
That's supposed to be classified. You sure? Is that okay if I say that?
Yeah, sure. Like Elvis was, the king of rock, man, king of rock and roll. Where's Elvis? We want Elvis back.
All right. So basically, when he was on the toilet, he was actually contacting us to beam him up, but we kind of messed up and only took his consciousness. It's it's on a ship on a holotape, so it's fine. It is reserved, but we are waiting for a suitable body to accept it. It's very hard to match the consciousness up with some bodies. Some people just go a different frequency, and no one's been on the same frequency as him. He's truly one of a kind. Unfortunately, I would really love to upload that into a new body.
Wow, I never thought that a human consciousness would also be like I thought we'd be compatible with each other. I mean, because we're all biological people in everything. So I mean, I thought we'd all just click together. But apparently, you're telling me that Elvis and other people just aren't compatible. Like, dude, that's good, groundbreaking stuff right there.
Yeah, it's kind of like blood types in that sense. Some people just are truly different, truly unique. It does make for a great story, especially to tell the other guys when they haven't heard about people who aren't compatible. Normally there's only like 7 types of wavelengths, but he's on one that's totally unique to his own.
Dude, that's some deep stuff. You've dropped some heavy bombs on us tonight. I mean, we've just had another question from the audience, which is, where is my alien wife? You took her years ago. Any comment?
Karen was lovely, and I sent her to, like, a nice little moon village. It's near Jupiter. And I don't think she lived long, but she tried. We forgot to send her with enough rations.
Oh well, I guess that's not going to be very comfortable for the viewer at home who wanted to know where his alien wife was.
It's a little awkward, but she was fun.
Well, we're coming to the end because obviously we can't take up all the airtime. We have to learn everything we can about Area 51. So right now, just to end off and round out the show, is there anything that you want to tell us about Area 51 that has never been told before? We know it's an intergalactic bus stop with a nightclub on the side. You invented crack, all this kind of stuff. But people are saying that Area 51's holding aliens against the will. They're all gonna rescue them in air quotes. They're gonna Naruto run. Obviously, they'll just be shot if they do that. Is there anything you can tell us about Area 51 to end the show that we don't know and we might never know and can only know from the mouth of an alien?
Well, if you're going to rescue anyone, the only one there who's held against their will is, well, pretty much no one. Everyone's actually there to party. There is one person who's not exactly like a friend of everyone, but yeah, I guess you could break in and free him. We call him Tim. He's not the bright one of the bunch. He just learned that stars were suns. Like, he's been a huge pain to try to teach. Uh, it's just a hassle. I mean, you can have him. He's about on the same level as you guys. You probably learn at the same rate.
What? Oh, probably not the information people at home were wanting with that. But there we go, everybody, to round out the show, and hopefully everybody over at Area 51 can catch this on the rerun. But if you make it inside, if you somehow manage to overpower the guards, get through the heavily armed military base, survive somehow, and get to the alien containment room, which is the correct terminology for the nightclub, find Tim and bring him to us.
Save
yes.
him. Send all the Kyles first. They actually do not have a defense measure that's good enough for the Kyles. They don't want to tell anyone, but they're the only ones who are going to get through, honestly.
Wow, there we go. So all the Kyles out there, if you are listening to this, Naruto run your way through. Be the front runners of this entire thing, because you will protect everyone else. Because apparently Area 51 can't protect itself from Kyles. That's kind of a weird bit of information. But everybody, if everybody at home right now, go ahead, tweet out a picture of your favourite alien with the hashtag #SaveTim, and hopefully we can bring Tim home safe and sound from Area 51.
There you go.
There we go. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me and C. C tonight is our Zayton guest. It's been interesting, man. If I can get the raspberry taste of a nebula somehow, I'm going to infuse that in everything I possibly can, because that's mind-blowing, man. And the fact that Zaytons themselves aren't really that different from humans, apart from the fact they are incredibly smaller, invented crack, and apparently like to party in an intergalactic bus station, that's perfectly fine with me. But from me, ladies and gentlemen, I am Captain Beardy, and I have to say goodbye. It is getting to that time. C, is there anything that you want to say to the members at home?
Stay safe and take the blue pill.
Oh, okay, take the blue... Well, we have no more time to ask what take the blue pill could mean. So, ladies and gentlemen at home, good night from me. It's good night from C, and you all know the drill. Stay awesome.